All right, intermediate algebra. This is looking at slope-intercept form of a line. So we're looking at what is the relationship between the algebraic look of a line and a graph. Okay, so slope-intercept is one form of a linear equation. Okay, so if you look at it algebraically, it's also going to be represented as a line. So take a minute and fill this in, hit pause if you need to. Slope-intercept form of an equation, y equals mx plus b. M is your slope, b is your y-intercept. Let me say that again. M is your slope, b is your y-intercept. What do those two things mean? Slope we talked a little bit about before. Slope just means how steep is your line. Is it going to be positive, negative? Is it going straight up and down, or is it going just left and right, straight horizontal? Y-intercept is where does it cross the y-axis. Okay, where does it cross the vertical axis in the middle of the graph? And why do we use this? We use this to graph linear equations. So what happens when we have a vertical line or a horizontal line? Well, kind of what happens is this. A vertical line is x equals something. X equals 3, x equals 5, x equals negative 2. A horizontal line is just y equals something. Okay, and let me explain kind of why that works. We'll start with the horizontal line. So a horizontal line means that the slope is 0. So if I look at the y equals mx plus b, my slope is 0 times x plus whatever my y-intercept is, which in this case is 2. So my slope is 0. Well, anything times 0 is always going to be 0. So it doesn't matter what goes in here for x, it's always going to be 0. So this is always going to be 0 plus 2, which is just going to be 2. Okay? The vertical line is a little bit more complicated because it never crosses the y-axis. So there's no y-intercept. All right, so the slope is undefined and there is no y-intercept. So that is kind of plays by its own rules. It's going to be just x equals something. So write the following in slope-intercept form. Slope is negative 2, y-intercept is 2. Well, it's got to be y equals mx plus b. Your slope is negative 2, your intercept is 2, so just substitute that in there. There you go. Now, number 2, your slope is 4/3, your y-intercept is negative 4. So that's going to be 4/3 x plus a negative 4. So rewritten simply, it's minus 4. So if I take a look, write each line in slope-intercept form. So what do they give me? Well, they give me a line and then say write it in its slope-intercept form. So here's what I want. I need two pieces. I need a slope. I need a y-intercept. I need those two things. So what I want to look at is what is my slope? What is my y-intercept? So for number 3, my slope, look at it at 2 points. So I go up 3/2. So my slope is going to be 3/2. My y-intercept is, where do I cross? Well, I cross at negative 2. So my equation is going to be y equals 3/2 x minus 2. For this one, check it out. It goes negative. So I've got to keep that in mind. I've got to look at what is my slope. Well, if I start here, you know what? It crosses there. I go down 2/3. So my slope is going to be negative 2/3. My y-intercept is going to be 1. So my equation is going to be this. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 1. So now, kind of working backwards here. They give you the equation. Let's graph the line. So my y-intercept is 4. Let's start there. Negative 3 as a fraction is be negative 3/1. So that means I'm going to go down 3 over 1. There's the next point. Down 3 over 1. There's my next point. That's what it should look like. All right. Number 6, y equals 2x minus 2. Well, negative 2 is my y-intercept. Positive 2, 2 over 1 is my slope. That means I go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So that's what that graph should look like. So now what happens if I kind of mess it around a little bit? Well, it's going to look like this. Negative 2, up 2 over 3. There you go. There is your line. This one, positive 4 to negative 1/2. So I'm going down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. There you go. That is your graph. So let's match this. Which equation crosses with which? Well, check out the y-intercepts first and see what matches. So this is a y-intercept of negative 1. So what up here has a y-intercept of negative 1? Well, number 11 does. So I'm going to go number 11 with A. Here I've got negative 5. Which up here has a 1 with negative 5? That one does. Here this is a positive 5, so this has got to go with 9. All right, so you got to look at it from the y-intercept perspective and go from there. That's all I got. Come talk to me with questions.